If you're even remotely into art, it's likely you've recently been bombarded with apocalyptic sounding headlines such as, "What is AI doing to art? Is AI coming for your job? Is AI a threat? Is creativity dead? Is AI the end of art?" Or on the opposite side of the spectrum, is AI the answer to all creative blocks? Is it the ultimate solution to accessibility in art making? These are all fascinating questions with so much nuance to be unpacked. Our podcast was inspired by the idea of looking at humanity beyond good and evil, and perhaps today we can do the same with machines, because debates around creativity, originality, authenticity, and even using an artist's work without their consent are not exactly new. Sure, it's hard to trace AI-generated images back to the original creator, but it's also hard to know more about the people working in Da Vinci's or Michelangelo's workshops and what they contributed to each artwork. To use more contemporary examples, who are the people making the hundreds of Yayoi Kusama's pumpkins? Even the backlash against computers making art seems to ignore the fact that art has incorporated digital technologies and computers for a very long time. Must we extend the mythical aura we've historically placed around human artists onto AI? Like, instead of the genius artist, you have the genius machine ready to take over the world. It's funny how so much of popular culture anthropomorphizes AI, that is, turns it into a human in shape and form, and suggests that it has agency and autonomy.
Why do you give them faces? Try to friendly them all up, make them look all human.
This can create an intimidating and even threatening aura around AI, which I don't think serves us. The whole thing reminds me of what this anthropologist Alfred Gell said about art. We're gonna get academic here for a moment, but stay with me. He has a famous text called The Technology of Enchantment and the Enchantment of Technology. It's a mouthful, but basically what he suggests is that the effect produced by a work of art, what he calls enchantment, or the feeling of awe when you encounter an artwork, is created by virtue of not knowing how it's made. He says that it is the way an art object is construed as having come into the world, as opposed to having been made, which is the source of power such objects have over us. So not understanding the processes that lead to an artwork being created give it a kind of magical effect. And not the magic of feeling connected to a human story or empathizing with a feeling translated into an artwork, but distant, impenetrable, intimidating magic. Not understanding how marble can be made to look like human flesh by a sculptor, for example, and then thinking you can't be an artist because you couldn't possibly do that. This example refers, of course, to like a classical Western art canon, but that's kind of my point. Because especially in the Western world, our ideas around creativity are obsessed with this myth of the genius white male artist with a God-given innate talent destined for greatness.
Genius.
That's why Alfred Gell in the 90s said that anthropologists needed to disown the art cult to study art. So remove the enchantment so they could look at it critically. Very well, today we shall aim to do something similar. We want to question the projection of this halo effect around technical difficulty onto AI. We want to disenchant machine learning technologies so we can get a more nuanced view of the relationship between AI and human creativity.